Yes, sir.
I think everybody here probably gets the general concept. So, we're very action-oriented, as you might have gathered. Who's drafting this legislation and who's going to support it in the House and the Senate in Indiana? I mean, let's just cut to the chase. Let's do it.
Right.
Don't talk about it, do it.
That's my next step. That's my next thing on my slate, is to work on drafting that legislation. And I've already been meeting with both state candidates and state representatives and senators about that very thing. I think it needs to happen in the Senate. It needs to come down in the Senate first.
Well, and tomorrow we're going to go try to take care of ballot.
Good. Amen.
So, that's to clear that up.
Yes, sir.
I have a comment and a couple of questions. First of all, if I'm hearing you right, tell me if this isn't fair speech. If I'm hearing you right, I think I hear you saying that interposition is the critical issue, right?
Yes.
Almost superseding everything else.
This is my life.
Okay. Okay, the second thing I want to ask is, or the first thing I want to ask is, do you know how many other states have done it and are considering this? Have any of them passed it? And if we pass it in Indiana, does that create any sort of a domino effect, giving some other states the courage to do it?
That's what I'm going to see. So, Virginia has passed the legislation against Obamacare in December. Florida has passed. Arizona has some stuff slated presently. Oh, I'm sorry. Virginia has already passed a law against it. Florida has already passed a law against it. Arizona has something up against it right now. That's all I know of presently. I've heard that Ohio is working on something, maybe a constitutional amendment or something like that. There's various ways that this thing can work out and come down. But the doctrine has been appealed to numerous times, sometimes successfully and for good things, sometimes unsuccessfully and for bad things. But recently we've seen it appealed to numerous times. Congress passed the Real ID Act in 1994 or 6, something like that. 16, 18 states finally said, no, we're not going to do the Real ID Act. And they said, no, we're not going to do it. So, 25. Was it that many? Okay. Well, finally, Congress said we can't finish the thing. We can't implement the thing. Recently, numerous states have been passing those state firearms manufacturing laws. I can't remember what it's called right now. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's 6 or 8 states now. Montana, they're mostly western states. I think Tennessee has done it as well, where they're protecting the rights of citizens' Second Amendment rights by saying, okay, we can manufacture guns in our state. They can only be sold inside the state. And the federal firearms laws don't apply to that. And that's a great thing. That is an active resolution. That's their position, okay? Yes, I believe Wyoming did that. I know Montana did that. Arizona just passed the illegal immigration thing out there. All they're doing is enforcing the existing federal law. The federal law that the United States has abdicated their duty and authority to uphold, and tells us that we need another law to give you a national ID. That's in the Act. You can't have a job without the national ID. And then grant amnesty to the illegal aliens because, hey, if we give them money, they'll vote for us. But they got up all up in arms, and this liberal media that we have starts talking about Arizona like it's some kind of criminal state, and they're enforcing existing federal law. That is an act of interposition. So this stuff is going on all around us. We just have to do what everybody else is doing. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a target date when you're going to propose this for legislation? And then what do you need from us to be successful?
Okay. I hope to have at least under draft within a couple of weeks. There's a couple of attorneys that I want to talk to about this and get help with. It needs to be brought by the legislature this January. The first day of session. This needs to be on the table. We need to have, in the meantime, we've got to have our senators and representatives behind that. So the freedom makers are handling the organization of everything in those regards. And, we got to get people. We got to get people that are contacting our legislators and saying, hey, protect my rights. I've heard about this. You need to support that. And duplicate yourselves.
Talking about state.
Yes, state, right. State legislators. I mean, if you can get a federal to help you too. If Congress will repeal this, that's great. I doubt that they're going to. Well, what's going to happen in the federal Congress, even if we put some conservatives in there, and even if you gave them a two-thirds majority to overcome a veto, you know what they would do? They would only take out the bad parts.
Yeah.
And what has to happen with Obamacare? Everything has to go. Everything. It has to be done because it was foisted up off on us. It has to be done because it was evil and it was wicked. Just so that they know we're not going to submit to it.
Hey, Gary.
So,
Thomas?
yes.
Can I answer this gentleman that asked about what the other states are doing for a moment here? I work as the NESA chair for ASMOM and also the assistant director of groups for the national site. So I'm in contact with the other state chairs for each one of the states in the United States. And I have been pushing their position with Michigan, Wisconsin, California, Florida, and any other chairman might get to listen to me and have them spread that to their states. And I know these ladies know that when ladies get a hold of something, they get something done. Now, we've also been tweeting this out. We just started just a little over a week ago, right before we started this tour. And we have the Republicans looking after us. We have Boehner looking after us. We have Jim DeMint looking at what we're doing. We have radio stations in San Diego looking at what we're doing. We have people following us now, watching to see what we do to get a position. So Indiana can't be waiting around to see what somebody else does. Indiana has to step ahead of everybody else and do it and show everybody else what to do.
Bill, you got a question?
Yeah, I just wanted everybody to understand that what he's doing here now is already bearing some results.
Good.
I've got responses from the governor's office, from my state representative, and they're open to the suggestion, but their indication is that they need to see pressure from us.
Right.
They need to see results from us and know that we're going to support them.
Right.
My letters to them, at the bottom, I told them I would support them what they did. And the governor specifically mentioned, his office specifically mentioned, when we write to legislators, we need to add that in. We're going to have an election in November, but we have legislators that are now.
Right.
We need to work on them.
Right.
And get this work to them.
Right.
It's having an effect.
I mean, where's that? I've got about, I don't know, maybe 30 of these left. It's an hour long. It goes into a lot of details that I haven't went into tonight on Obamacare. We're asking for a $20 donation. That will help me because I'm taking off work to do this and I'm not getting paid. I've got to figure out, I'm trying to figure out how to keep our bills paid so that I can do this and get the job done. But if you're interested in those, there's 20 or 30 of these left, so you're welcome to have it. That's a tool that you can sit down with your friends and neighbors and say, hey, come over and watch that. And then, hey, give me a call if you have any questions. I want to come back up here too. Ladies first.
Yeah.
Ladies first.